Hey y'all, welcome to System Check as we just go over the data for last week and look at what we're going to run this week and just kind of get started here. We have a lot of new updates with ClearEdge that was pushed out tonight. Yeah, right? And didn't Nara push out the update tonight?
Yeah, it was, I think maybe a couple of hours ago.
Yeah, so lots of new stuff with that. We can chat a little bit about some of those things. And then get something set up for the week and just kind of go over the process of how that works. So Brad, how was your weekend, man?
It was pretty good. Kind of low key. It's been rainy around here today, so just been taking it easy today for the most part.
Oh, it looks sunny at your pool house. Right behind you. Yeah,
Yeah, that's my second home that I haven't bought yet.
yeah. um, yeah. No, it's been a good weekend. We have family in town, so I've been able to kind of detach a little bit from the charts. I spend weekends a lot of time going over stuff and doing analysis on things. So this weekend, I really didn't have any of that. Wasn't working on any code. Wasn't really doing much. So it's kind of a nice break. It's been a while. They're staying in my office, which is the basement. So it was a easy excuse not to be on my computer, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, well, let's go ahead and take a look at this update. Just kind of go over some of the things that we're looking at. Let me pull it over onto the screen. Once I get on it, announcements. All right, can you see that?
Yep, I can.
All right. So new software update. What's new? Integration and data. Added Rhythmic support. Um, Added P&L tracking. Top Step X updates every 60 seconds. Rhythmic supports real-time P&L and UPNL. Trade of 8 shows P&L and UPNL. What's the UPNL, Brad? Do you remember what that is?
Yeah, unrealized P&L. So basically your open position.
Oh, okay. I was.
And if you want to, we can take kind of each section and just kind of talk
That's what.
briefly about it.
Yep.
Um, so the rhythmic support is pretty self-explanatory, right? And also the P&L tracking. I know some people have seen posts that David and I or Nara or Smooth might make, and you'll see the P&L on there. Um, the um, Top Step X, again, because it is showing um, your unrealized P&L. But again, as that states, it updates every 60 seconds. So there's going to be a little bit of a lag. It's not real time, but you can glance there and at least get an idea um, of what it's showing. David, if you want to go to um, that's in somewhere else in one of the other sections, but go to the home screen real quick. And then now you'll also see agents and then accounts. Just click on accounts on right above that. Yep, right there. So that'll list the accounts, but you have your agent turned or your broker turned off, so it's not pulling it back. But it'll actually list out your accounts. So if you have, although the top will show like the total P&L of that broker, if you click on agents, it'll show the individual P&L of each account so you can track them in case you're running different strategies, which again, I personally don't recommend because they're cracking down on hedging, but maybe you're running different accounts at different times, but you can see the individual accounts and where they are. But Top Step X will show your open position P&L. Trade of 8 will only show your closed P&L after the trade actually closes, then that will update. So
Yep. And
um,
I don't know if I have a beta version of the software. I don't know where my Rhythmic ad exchange is not on there, so we will.
hmm,
I'll have to message Snar about that. Um, or I could probably just go download the actual update so it's not beta software. But um, yeah, normally with the new Rhythmic connection that we now have, go on here. You're not going to be seeing that huge list that we used to have with all like Blue Sky, Top Step. Now that's consolidated since there's only two firms that have Top Step X, or Project X, which is Futures Desk, which, as we talked about on Friday, is no longer. They are now swallowed up by Top Step, so they are owned by Top Step. So I don't even know if how much longer that will even be on there. Depends on when the transition fully happens. And then you have your Ninja and your Tradovate, but you should have, mine doesn't have it on here, but you should have with the new update, Rhythmic on there.
Yeah, and I did. I guess it's probably that beta version because I just updated mine to the new release version and it's showing up there. So I'm guessing it's just a beta version issue that you're
I
having.
just updated my. It like had a little, but it updates to the latest beta software, so it wasn't updating to the. Maybe he didn't put that on there. Either way, I'll figure it out. I still have my Rhythmic connections, so they're still working. I have Bullnux. Highly recommend if you guys are Apex traders that are automators. Bullnux does not have the same stringent rules on automation or hedging that Bullnux has. So, or that Apex has. So go ahead and pick up some counts. Clear Edge 1, I believe, is the code, and that will get you like, I think it's like $15 for a 25K account, $20 for their 50K account. And their 50K account has $2,500 of drawdown. And so that's nice. I don't think the same discount applies for the end of day accounts that they have. So the accounts would be basically like what Apex used to only have, where now they have end of day, but the ones that are super cheap. So definitely go check those out. Another Rhythmic connection that you guys might be interested in is Phibius. I think it's spelled. I think this is how you spell it. I have it typed up here. Pretty sure that's right. So if you want to pause the stream and type that in or whatever. They have static accounts they only have a 25K static account, but they're also a swing trading firm. So you can swing trade futures, which is nice. You could turn off those timestamps and get some good settings. I've a lot of times you find that settings that don't have those no trade zones activated actually tend to have a little bit better statistics. I know I get frustrated when I create settings and I forget to turn on my no trade zone, and then when I turn it on, it like craps the statistics more. But so yeah, excited about that. Honestly, I've really liked the Rhythmic connections. How long have we been? Oh shoot! How long have we been testing that? It's been months now. I think at this point, or like at least a month or more.
Yeah,
Because
at
I've
least
accounts a
a
while.
month. I don't remember exactly how long, but I think at least a month.
Yeah. So some good additions. I'm definitely a fan of it. Let me just set up my turn on stuff so that I have it on.
Yeah, and I'll talk about a couple of the other things that were mentioned. There is a new feature called Echo, where it can let you copy your manual trades across accounts, and there is a YouTube video out there where Smooth talks about that. You can now, from directly within the ClearEdge software, there's a share button, which I know y'all have seen some of the ClearEdge team share those screenshots. So you can just basically show your P&L for the day easily directly from the software and or copy and paste it into Discord or wherever. And I know somebody in Discord mentioned today that they had been away for a little bit, a couple weeks or so, and came back, and the marketplace has a lot of updates as well, where the providers can add P&L histories to the strategies that they're selling, that you can now more easily maintain your subscriptions within the marketplace as well, your ClearEdge and your strategy subscriptions. See when your next bill date is. You can upgrade for various things. And then as the strategy providers, we have a little bit more control on our end as well. to help with some of that stuff and maintenance of any kind of billing issues or something like that. There is, if you pull up your software, um, there is now, and you go to the settings, a little gear icon on the bottom left, there is a VPS optimization tab, where you can click that, where it'll help. Again, I don't know all the technicals of what it's doing in the back end, but you can turn on certain things right at the very top. There's just a quick optimize that I think it's 5 of them. Basically 5 things that it'll toggle on, that kind of helps limit the resources that the VPS is using, so you get better execution times. So that's a new feature as well.
I'll be
Um,
right back, Brad.
okay. And then you will see also now, which is what I just did. If you go into the settings under the general tab, you will see a check for updates. And if there's a update, then it will pop up at the top of your software. And you'll just have to, I just did it, but I can't remember what the word said. I think it just says upgrade, and then it'll download it, and then you do install and restart, and it'll just close out your software, install it, and open it back up for you. So it's easy to upgrade or know when there's an upgrade, because a lot of times it'll tell you that there's an upgrade, but just depending on when it check lasts and stuff, it may not show up automatically right away, but after you close out or something and open it back up, it'll show up. So it makes it easier for you to make sure you're on the latest version. And then one thing that'll help us with troubleshooting is you can share your logs with the support group, so we can see those logs. If somebody says they missed an alert or something didn't execute, that's just an easy way for you to get the logs over to us, so we can help kind of troubleshoot that. Um,
Where are you at on the list? Are you on performance right now? Or updates and
um, really kind of going through, well, I did performance, was doing updates and maintenance, did the logs. The credentials piece where you save them, I like this better because um, you basically have two things right there. Instead of it being 2 separate screens that open up, just so they're together, it's a little bit easier. And then David had the ad broker up a while ago, which a lot of people will get confused because they'll say, "Hey, I'm using Lucid," and I clicked on Lucid and it won't work. Well, that was the old Project X connection. So all of those have been taken out because nobody has Project X anymore except for TopStep and the Futures Desk. So everything else that you're using is going to be under either Tradevate, Ninja, or Rhythmic, which David needs to update his to get his Rhythmic back. But it'll be one of those. So I know at least I do. I don't know about you, David, but I see that question frequently on the help desk, is
I do.
that,
Yeah.
hey, I can't, I'll use Lucid because that's the one that I know of, or Tradeify, whoever has had Project X before. And I always told them the actual named connections are Project X. And if you're using Tradevate connection, then you just need to click Tradevate. So that'll hopefully clear up some of that confusion, because you only have 4 or 5 options now, and you don't have all the different ones named. Um,
For sure.
and then I guess the last thing was just some general fixes and improvements. And again, I don't know all the details about these pieces, but just general stability of the platform.
Yep.
And then, like I said, using those optimizations for VPS should help it be more stable if it's using less CPU or RAM, to help it not crash, and then also help you have faster executions. But I think that pretty much covered everything. I know seeing the P&L is something that I enjoy, because people have asked about that for a while. And depending on which broker, you can see open positions, but just being able to look at a glance and not have to look at each broker individually, especially if you're running multiple, you can just go to the home page and see everything there in a high overview, is definitely a nice feature to have.
Yep. Yeah. So I guess let's jump into some just looking at the markets. What are we looking at? So we have ES right here. We've seen, I mean, since we broke out of the structure to the downside, we've had that squeeze going on, or relief rally, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I mean, we're up here now at this resistance level. So we'll kind of see what happens from here. But I don't know if the news, it's a very news driven, geopolitical driven market right now. So I don't have any faith in one direction or the other. But
Well,
we'll
I
kind of see.
I was actually looking earlier. I mean, going back to um, basically, and kind of what you were looking at, but basically going back about 2 months, we're basically sitting at the highs we've had for the last 2 months, and there's a good bit of distance to the downside, a couple thousand to get back to lows from a couple of weeks ago. And it could be wrong, but just my opinion with because I know there was the ceasefire that I think gave us some pump last week, but then it seems like that might have kind of fallen apart a little bit. So um, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a gap down and then a decent little push down here. I don't know if it'll all happen overnight, but
Yeah,
over the next day or so.
what was the news over the weekend? I know there was financial juice. I think they were saying that the talks were not going well with Iran. Is that what it was? I'll have to look.
Yeah, and I haven't really kept up with it, but I know that JD Vance went over to Pakistan to meet with the Iranian leaders, and they didn't really make a lot of progress because I think the things that both sides are adamant have to happen, neither one of them will agree to those pieces. So I don't think the talks have gone very well, and I think I also heard that the U.S. is sending some ships to the Strait. I know you and Kevin joke about how you say it, but so I'm not going to try to say it, but
Strait of Hormuz
yeah,
or Hormuz.
but
Hormuz.
so who knows? I could just really see I could see a gap down. Again, it may not happen. You never know, but we have. I mean, even to the lows of last week, we have 1,300 points down on NQ and really no room up. Right, we're as high as we've been in the past 2 months. Um, so I just think we have a lot of room to the downside based on where price has been recently.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know. I mean, basically, Friday was fairly flat. Was that 393? We had like less than what is that? Less than a 200 point range on Friday,
Yeah.
which is slow compared to the way it's been moving. So we'll see if we get some volatility. But again, I'm not putting a trade just based on it, but I wouldn't be shocked if we have a gap to the downside and then get a decent push just kind of over those or push down over those negotiation talks not going well because we typically if they say things are going well or we're going to negotiate or a ceasefire, we'll all of a sudden get a 300 point ripper to the upside. So it makes sense that we would reverse if talks didn't go well. But hey, Lee.
What's up, guys?
How was your weekend, man?
Good,
Awesome.
good. I just got back, so I figured I'd jump on and say hi.
Yeah. Yeah, we are just doing some market overview before we kind of get into what we're going to be running for the week and looking at specifically just what's going on. You already mentioned in the chat to the guys, the users, that I mean, size down. Obviously, I mean the volatility that's going to come in from the geopolitics is just it could get really nuts. So
Yeah, it can. I think overnight Wall Street was like 300-400 point gap down last time I looked on the Nasdaq.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And if you track that
I
weekend Wall
don't
Street,
know. What was that website again? Because I know Nara was sharing it on the stream last time, and I forgot to type it in while he was talking about it. Wall Street.
weekend. Let me see. I'll give it to you here. I forget what it is now. Weekend Wall Street. It's actually showing a almost 600 point gap down right now.
Yeah, I'm
wow.
seeing 586.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that much, but yeah, we'll see. Open will be interesting for sure. I wonder if we get that much of a push down, do y'all think we will bounce back and fill the gap and then dump even further?
It's so hard to tell these days, like, because you try and predict something technically, and then some tweet comes out and
Yeah.
sends it the opposite direction.
Yep. Yeah.
That is very true.
Yeah, I try not to like just guess, but more just react as the market information comes as we see it, when we see it happen. It's not really a gap until we actually have regular trading hours, so it could fill the gap in the overnight. And
Yeah, and they don't always pan out.
Yep.
So we'll kind of see what happens. I'm actually just installing the latest version of the software. Getting ready.
Are you okay? Yeah, I updated from the beta and on like the thing that pops up on our thing, and I'm missing the Rhythmic connections for Add a Broker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but Brad downloaded it off of the Discord, and he's showing the right thing. So it must be.
Well, I just did check for updates in the software, and I don't remember what version number it went to, but yeah, everything was there for me.
Let me.
So I think it was.
No, it says I'm on the latest version.
Go to the very top.
Like on my side panel.
Yeah, and keep clicking that green button. There you go. Hit that little thing there. Go to one of the settings. Maybe you can. There's a way to turn Rhythmic on there. There you go. Oh, that's just the debugging. What about the middle button at the top? I don't know if there's a way to turn Rhythmic on and off.
We can deal with it later after the stream. I'm not too worried about it. My Rhythmic connections are still working, so I have two, and I'm not trying to add a new one right now, so it's not a big deal. It's just me, sounds like. So, but yeah, and you can see at the top, this is beta, so I'm in a beta update right now, so it's not the actual release versions. Yeah, so you have anything more to add about? I got a CL chart up here. I got ES, I got NQ, and I got GC. I honestly have not been watching GC lately very much. I
have a couple of strategies on it, but I think the commodities always kind of go a little crazy when things get like this. So they can be fun instruments to trade, just small. Everything's small this week.
Yep. Is that kind of what you did? You just went through your connections and put your size down?
Yeah. I'm just some stuff, if I'm already trading 1 micro, then I'll keep it, but anything that I've got trading over, especially in funded accounts, I'm dropping it down.
Yeah.
And I may not turn things on until like 7:30, just let the initial craziness kind of settle down.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'll run my evals. A lot of them are like, I have a ton of Bullnux evals right now, so I'll just let those run. They're like $15-$20.
Yeah, I'm letting my stuff run. Everything I have running is on NQ or MNQ and MES, but a couple of them are regular trading hours, so they're not going to do anything anyway. But I have a one eval on QuantX and another one on some secret lab settings I optimize, and I'm trying to see how they're working out. So I'm gonna let those run. We'll see what happens. I might regret it, but because the secret lab one is on one ES, so
yeah.
But that's one that I do have. That one's actually running on Top Step, so I have the risk parameters set in Top Step, so it automatically puts it in there. So I shouldn't get hurt too bad if something spikes one way or the other. And I know you can still have some slippage from that, but it's not like I'm going to get a minute delay on Tradevate and double my loss or something.
Yeah, for sure.
I saw Top Step have that new feature now where they'll actually alert you if you're hedging live.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time they give you to get out of the trade, but maybe I'll try and do a quick hedge to see.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, I can't do it, but yeah, definitely let us know what's going on with that, and I would be interested because like if it's in the middle of the night for us that automate, that's not much use. We're not going to be able to come in time to click the button and get in an unhedged position. So
I think Top Step could buy themselves a lot of what's the word? More favorable sentiment if now that they've introduced this new feature, if they would bring people back in and say, hey, you're unbanned and you don't have to come back, but if you want to come back, you're unbanned and pay attention to this because we're enforcing it.
Yeah, I think so too, because I don't think a lot of people thought that they even cared, especially when in some cases one of the accounts was an eval, which is where you're supposed to be practicing and honing your skills.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why that. I mean, you can obviously tell if there's people that are just a pattern of maybe on CPI they go long on one, short on another one, right? I can see them not liking that aspect of it, but if it seems like there's a strategy or using a different strategy on each account and they just happen to be in opposite trades at some point, is that like you said, let people know and say, here's a software or an alert system that'll let you know. Just be more mindful of it.
Yeah.
Because I know like David, he got caught up in that, but he wasn't intentionally hedging stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Banned though.
Like I said, they would buy themselves some better PR, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know they're pretty hated.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think I was talking on to Kevin about it. Yeah, I think like more mature or more traders that have kind of been pulling out money and are a little bit better, like I think they have a bad reputation with, but like they do really well with new traders. Like I think MP at least, like I think he like I'm not saying he's doing a good job. I'm saying he tends to kind of resonate with guys just coming into the space, whether or not if they're just coming in and seeing that. So I mean, he's succeeding, and honestly, that's good for any prop firm is to have newer traders be the ones that come to your firm. So I mean, that's where the big money is going to come in because they're going to have a lot of failed challenges from guys.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if that was their intention, but that's definitely what it seems. What has seemed to happen is they pissed off a lot of guys that are decent at trading, and they've really done well with guys that are brand new to the space.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I talk a lot with guys on Facebook, or like I'll go back and forth on these Top Step forums, and I'll talk with guys, and the guys that tend to be the ones defending it the hardest, or like I'll ask them like, well, like how long have you been trading, or like what is like have you passed the combine, have you got a payout, and typically it's no, I'm still working on it, or something like that. So then they're hardcore defenders of Top Step, but they haven't been pulling out money from them. So just seems to be a sentiment around newer guys. But yeah, really sad about Futures Desk. We talked about it on the Friday stream. That's a bummer, man. That was such a cool firm, honestly. Like not many firms out there were just put you straight from a challenge into a live account, and I just really like that whole concept. So,
well, hopefully Top Step will take some of the features and ideas that the Futures Desk had, and not just, yep, there was that big gap down, 400 points.
Crude gapped up, gold gap down.
But hopefully they won't just absorb them to get their, whatever I say technology, they're using Project X, but get, some of their, their user base and stuff like that. Hopefully they'll actually keep some of their thoughts and some of their processes. So I mean, who knows if they come out with new plans that you can buy that, which it's hit or miss. I mean, when you look at the all-in cost, Top Step is probably one of the more expensive ones because a lot of these other firms have one-time cost and no activation fee. So I think Top Step's going to have to do some tweaking of some of their plans if they're going to keep up with some of the other firms, which I mean, maybe they don't care. Maybe they just think that their kind of longevity in the space is going to keep them going. And it might, and that might be why some of those newer ones you're talking about are gravitating towards them, because when you look up names, I mean, Top Step is the OG one, right? They're the ones that kind of started all of it, and they have, other than, you know, some issues recently, they have, you know, probably the most credibility, at least for a longer term. Like I said, the past couple months I know have been rocky, or since the release of Project X, which had its bugs and messed up stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised if they don't come out with some new plans. And I don't know if they'll ever go straight to funded. Not that I think a lot of people in the Clear Edge group buy those. Maybe they do. I don't know. But I don't know that they'll ever go that route. But with so many people, I mean, Apex isn't a one-time fee. It's just your eval's only good for a month. But Tradeify and Lucid have both gone to a one-time fee, and the account is not even really any more expensive than the Top Step that you get charged every month. Yeah. So if those prop firms stay reputable, I think you're going to see a lot of people migrate over to those, because you know that you can. I've mentioned on other streams, you can go buy a Lucid account for, like, their cheapest account for $70 or something, and know that you don't have to rush to pass it and potentially blow it, or either pay another month for it. You can, if you want to take 2 or 3 months and pass it, then you can do that. But Top Step, you either know, and a lot of people will take the approach is, I'm either going to blow it or pass it in the first month, because if I don't pass it, I'm going to have to pay again. So if I'm going to pay again for it next month, I might as well take the chance of getting it passed quick.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I made the mistake of buying a few of those 150Ks from Lucid, and like I forgot. It wasn't that I forgot. I knew that it was a one-time fee, but like I kind of took the same approach as like a monthly account, where it's like, hey, I'm either passing this month, and I was like, crap. Later on, after I went to reset them, and they're like super expensive to reset. I was like, yeah, well, that was dumb. I could have just sat and gone a little bit smaller size and let these things cook for a little while. So now, I don't know. I forget what their account. I probably spent like $400 or $500 on a couple accounts, blew them within a couple weeks. And I was like, I should probably size down. The one time, I mean, it's great for just sizing down and letting the strategy cook for you. So,
yeah, I think we've all been there.
Well, if you have it's just a mental game as well, right? Once you have a couple of funded accounts, it's easier for you to do that on a new eval, because you know you have an account you can get a payment out of once you get there. But if you don't have any, I mean, we've all been there, is you're just like, oh, Top Step says you can pass it in 2 days, or Apex says you can pass it in 1 day. And if they say that, you're going to try to do it. And then you end up blowing it. But if you know that you have a couple that are making real money, then if it takes you 2 months to pass another one, no big deal, because you have other ones you can pull money out of. It's just getting past that hurdle of getting, you know, a couple of funded. So, you know, you can sit there and be like, oh, I made, you know, $300 today across those couple of funded. So I don't need to rush these others, because I'm, you know, pulling out, you know, $500 a week, which is, I mean, you can't live off that, but $500 a week, a couple $1,000s a month, I mean, that's a mortgage payment. You know, that can be, you know, a decent chunk of change, and help you be able to do things you couldn't do before. So it's not like you have to make $10,000 a day. Those little amounts add up when you just multiply it by however many weeks in that month.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm in a trade. I'm in a buy. Interesting. Where is this?
On what?
Oh, QX. That's a weird buy, actually. Oh no, it's in a sell. Oh, it's in
You
a
have
buy. I have it reversed. My bad.
you have different settings than me because I didn't get that one.
Yeah. I'm kind of happy with that trade. Not a bad one.
Let me go. I think I have the other one you did. Let me pull it up and see. Because mine's not in a trade. Or maybe I deleted that chart. I guess I don't have it, but
Yeah. Maybe I'll set up the new settings that you put out. The year-long back test. Which one do you recommend out of the three? I'm not going to do ES. I didn't like that one very much, but
NQ looks good to me. I mean, it's got a 1.6 profit factor. The RTY one is it has a 1.85 profit factor. It's better, but it's slow. I mean, it didn't take a trade last Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. It finally took a trade on Friday. So
that was MTK or RTY?
RTY, yep. So that might be a good one on a funded account where you don't care if it trades every day, but I mean, there's some days it takes multiple trades, but then it'll take a gap of a couple of days where it doesn't trade. So I mean that's a good one. You just have to be okay with not seeing a trade for several days in a row. But I think the NQ one is the best. I'm running NQ and ES just to have things diversified a little bit. I haven't set up RTY on anything, but yeah, I've been lately kind of gravitating more towards those year-long back tests because I just feel that they'll hold up a little bit better. And I think you could probably go back and re-optimize like once a month, and you should see very minimal changes, but at least obviously a month's going to drop off from the old dates and you get a new month of data, so there could be some slight changes. But even if you don't do it that frequently, it shouldn't be super drastic. But I have the NQ year-long regular trading hours going on one account, the ES year-long regular trading hours on another account, and then I have Strategy Lab on one account. It's a 1-minute Strategy Lab, but a year-long back test that I optimize it on QuantX, and then I also have the Kairos VWAP running as well. So I have a decent little mix of stuff running for this week.
Yeah, nice. Let's see. Where am I? Let me just maximize this. Yeah, what are you running this week, Lee?
I'm actually running a manual right now. I'm long from 970 in the NASDAQ.
Nice. Always good to be in an automated long when Lee's in a long too. So I'm happy with my long. Yeah. So let's see. You said ES was where you're long from? What you're long
NASDAQ 24,970.
Okay. Yeah. Where's that gap? Whoa. Looks like my Project X is not updating. My chart is frozen.
Oh, really?
There we go. I just got a 20-point scale.
Nice.
At 990.
Project X, man. Come on. Update. What the heck are you doing? Let me try re-putting in
the price isn't moving or anything on it?
Nothing, man. It's just sitting there.
Take a look.
I didn't. Never mind. We gapped down so far. I didn't have my chart moved up. And I was on my other chart was on a high time frame, so it didn't look like it was this far down. So I was just
gotcha.
Stupid. Yeah. Oh, nice little pop. Let's go. What are your targets, Lee? What are you looking for? You said you already scaled up.
I'm just targeting this wick for now, the 2509, where we wait with that wick of the 9th or the 601 candle. And
okay.
I'll hold runners into the gap if we can get there.
Yeah.
I say
I'm running on this as 25.15 would be the target. So just a little 50-point scalp. Let's see.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and find the settings you sent me, David, for that one. I've kept running the old QuantX settings just because that's the one I have the spreadsheet with all the history on.
Yeah.
And it's still been holding up. I think last week, granted, I didn't have it running on an account all week, but I think last week it was up like $400 on one MNQ.
Yeah.
So
I scaled at 05 here, 25,005 on the NASDAQ.
So you're just going to leave one runner on to like 25,300 to fill the gap?
Yeah, I took 6 micros and I'm down to 2 now. So
just set your stop and set your profit target at like 25.3 and just let it run. See if it fills the gap overnight.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Looks like I'm in a CL short with Vector Platinum. So that just got in short. I mean, even with all the craziness, this Vector Platinum with CL has really just stayed flat, which I'm happy with. If we're flat, then we're not losing. So with all the crap that's going on.
Yeah. Well, the short in oil supports this NASDAQ long.
Yep. But yeah, I was actually looking at the account I was going to put the M&Q band strategy on. And it's actually on my Lucid account. And my Lucid funded is running RTY. So I don't really want to switch them both. And you'd be RTY. Oh, there we go. Target hit. Nice. Update. Nice. Took a little bit. Let's see. $207 win. Nice.
What were you running on that? 2 MNQ?
Yeah. Yep. I have several counts on that. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can get some trades. I think my QuantX settings, I have 5 MNQ on it. And no, what do I have it on? No, 3. The 5 MNQ was on the NQ band's regular trading hours. So even though
is that fading the bands? That's not a trend following strategy, right? That's
correct.
Fading.
Correct. Okay. Yeah, all 3, the NQ, ES, and RTY year-long ones are all fading the bands.
I like that a lot better for what we're seeing in the market right now. What about you, Lee? Just for where we're at and what we're doing, are you wanting to run more trend fall and stuff, or what do you kind of think of doing that?
I mean, it's really so hard to tell. I mean, if this news cycle continues, then obviously the trend is going to be looking down. But I think there's a lot of twists and turns that are going to happen. More twists and turns, I should say. It's not looking like it's going to stop, at least for the near term. So,
well, I think it really, and I mean, that's why to me I have a mix, because the bands and ES are they're fading the bands, but then I have QuantX, which, since we're doing it in reverse, it's following the trend. So like I said, you kind of have a mix with different. I like having different strategies because they're using slightly different entry logic. Then I also have Secret Lab, which is basically a reversal as well. So they're kind of, and I'll watch them and I'll be like, okay, well, I have, these 2 strategies or these 3 that are all in the trade in the same direction. I'm not saying it can't be wrong, but a lot of times it just makes me feel better because, again, they're using different entry logic. And if they all said, hey, we need to go short now, then good chance that it's probably the right direction. Although I saw a couple of cases last week, it doesn't always work. But um,
yeah, I hate to see all my stuff go in the same direction, especially because I'm running. Like I don't like to see a trend following in the same direction as typically my reversion stuff or my fading something, whether or not it's VWAP bands or Bollinger bands. I I don't mind like seeing 5 of my accounts be in the red for the day and 5 of them being in the green, a couple other ones break even. Like I think to me that tells me that I'm actually doing the right thing with setting up my accounts, because everything shouldn't be green at once. Typically, sometimes it is, but for the most part, what I'm running, it doesn't make sense for them all to be green.
yeah, and that's where, to me, that's why I try to mix it up. And again, I know some people try or would try to do it all on one account until the hedging stuff started. But um, that's why, to me, I mean, if you have one strategy that's working well, can you copy it across, 20 accounts that you have? Sure. But I think that also introduces some risk, right? If it has a bad day or a bad week, you lost on all 20 of them. But versus having, just like you're going to be diversified by having different prop firms in case one of them has a rule that you end up breaking, like the hedging rule, or a prop firm goes under, something happens, right?
Yeah.
To me, it's the same way with strategies. As I mean, it's very tempting if you see a back test and you're like, oh, this one's made, $5,000 in the past month. You start doing that trader math. If I just ran it on 20 accounts, I would be a millionaire before Christmas. But then all of a sudden, when you start, of course, just the way the world works, it has the worst week it's ever had.
All right.
And then you're mad about it. So that's why, to me, I would rather just run different ones. And sometimes, like, I have a band ES and a band NQ, so running the same strategy. Obviously, the settings are slightly different on it with the confluences and Bollinger Bands length and all this kind of stuff. But I'm still like, the NQ one might take 2 to 4 trades per day. ES might take 8 trades per day. And I need to set up RTY on something, because it's just, I mean, you could even get you a 150K account and run probably 2 RTY and be risky because it has 2,700 of drawdown. So you have a chance of blowing it. But, and then even run that as another one, all bands, all year long back test. But it's obviously trading, all 3 of them are trading fairly different. And so the hope is that if one of them has a bad day, the other 1 or 2 make up for those losses, then plus some.
Yeah. Yeah. If let me see if I can get something set up here. I know there's some new guys watching today, or they have the link that they said they would tune in possibly. So I do want to make sure I'm setting something up on here so that way we can go through it. So just going back to the broker, if you're brand new to ClearEdge and you're just getting started with this, you're going to need to add your broker. So whatever you bought, if you bought a Tradevate account, make sure you click Tradevate. I have noticed some people accidentally buy TradeC accounts with Lucid lately. Make sure you don't buy TradeC, because I don't think we can log in with the Rithmic connection yet. Can we? Smooth?
Not to TradeC, I don't believe, no.
Yeah. So make sure you pick the Tradevate to automate through ClearEdge with that. So you're going to click that. You're going to get it down here. You're going to click into it, and you are going to set your credentials. First thing you do, go set your credentials, type that in, type in your password, save it, and that will, when you turn on your system active, it will automatically log you in with your credentials. From there, you're going to need to create a new strategy. So you're going to go up to the little antenna right here, and you're going to press create new signal. Put tests. I'm just putting tests. And then trading view strategy. Go next. Name must be unique. I must already have a test on there. Next. And then this is going to be the information that you're going to use on the strategy. And I kind of did skip a step. If you don't have a strategy yet, make sure to go to the marketplace. These all have 7-day free trials, so you can go try one out. I highly recommend that you look at the Discord. Like if you go to the Discord and you can kind of see, go through the marketplace, and there we have all of the stuff on the marketplace right here. So any of the vendors are able to post stuff here. So make sure you click through and kind of see what they're saying on there before you go purchase it, so you know it's going to have charts. Like for example, Elevated Market Ninja, you can see he keeps all of his setups, all of his settings in the Discord. So you need to make sure to know that when you download the strategy, that you can't, it's not just a plug and play. You don't just open it up and it's set and you can go put it on the 1 minute time frame on CL and it's just going to work. It doesn't work like that. I had two people last week that I met with that both did that, where they just opened up a strategy and they put it on the time frame they wanted, put it on the instrument they wanted, and just started running it. Luckily, nothing bad happened. They ran it, I think, for 2 weeks, and it did okay. But that is pretty lucky. You could probably ask Brad and Lee. Pretty lucky just to open up a strategy and pick whatever time frame and instrument you want and not get blown out. So, yeah, you can go into one of these, pick one of these, and go ahead. Just make sure that they have charts. If they don't have charts, it's totally fine. It just means that you have to go create some settings yourself. So you're going to have to flip through stuff. So I wouldn't recommend, if you haven't done that before, maybe pick one with charts on it. Or if you want to learn how, then go ahead and get one without charts. I don't know if like some of these have charts. Yeah, I don't think Opening Range has charts. So just make sure you're aware of that when you're looking at getting one of these strategies. So yep, do some research, pick one of these out, and then once you do that, that's going to be on your trading view. And since I already set up the new test alert right here, my test alert, I have my message and my webhook right here. So that's what you're going to need in a minute when you add a new strategy. So let's see, market. So I'm going to add an indicator. I'm going to go to invite only scripts. I'm going to see whatever one I purchased or have the 7-day free trial to. I'm going to add it to a chart. I'll add Vector Platinum. So I'll add Vector Platinum to the chart, and that's going to pop up. Vector Platinum has presets with it. So all you have to do is look in at the settings. Once this loads. What's going on? My trading view is lagging or something. I'll just go over to my Vector Platinum right here. So in Vector Platinum, click into the settings, go ahead and browse through the presets that he has. And these are all auto detect on chart. So if you want MES 5 minute, just go ahead and put your chart to MES. And then 5 minute time frame, and wait for that strategy report to update. And I think it's all right. So now you have it here. Now what we can do is set up an alert. So up here on the little 3 dots on the strategy itself, go ahead and add alert. Do you guys remember what he was saying use for orders and fills alert functions, or did he say just do order fills only?
Order fills only.
Yeah, I think he said when he did that, he did it with like for Traders Post, and maybe they need the other ones for some reason, but I don't know. Yeah, I always just do order fills only.
Yep. And then the message section right here. So we're going to take that out, and we are going to post in this message that we just created on that strategy. Post that in there, and then you can just copy over the name of it, paste that in there, apply it, go to your notifications. I already have my webhook in here, but if you don't have it in there, you're going to go click webhook URL, copy that, and paste it in right there. If you've never opened up or never used a webhook on TradingView before, the first time that you click this on, it's going to have you do a 2-factor identification. So just be prepared for that. So that way you can use webhooks. But yeah, and then if I was to use this, I would press apply, and then it would go up here to my alerts. It would show up at the very top. I could just do it really quick. So create, and at the very top, it will pop up in a minute. And that's it. Did I miss anything? You guys think of anything I missed? Or anything to add?
You just didn't calculate when you're gonna earn enough to buy a Lambo. That's the only part you missed.
Yeah. Well, I did actually forget something. So once you finish all that, you're going to need to go back to the broker that you added. So if you added Top Step, you'd go into there and you would press add new strategy. And a little thing looking like this that says new signal will pop up. You're going to go ahead, click that drop down menu, go click the one you just created, go to select account, select your account that you're using, and then set the contract name. With Top Step, it's easy. They already have it in to where you just have to type in MES and it'll be right there. On Tradevate, if you're doing a Tradevate connection, you're going to have to put in the contract. And to do that yourself, simply go onto your Tradevate and search the name. So MES, and at the very top there, just use the top one. So MES M6. So just go ahead and copy that into that contract name into where it says contract name. And then the multiplier, and this is a common confusion, use the multiplier, don't use the TradingView strategy. So technically you could go in to a strategy, go to properties, and you can change your order size. And you need to set up a new alert anytime you change this. But I would always just keep it at the default. Just keep it at 1. Easy. Let me delete this really quick. Delete. Easy enough to have that at 1, and then just adjust your size from here. So if I wanted to trade 10 micros, I could trade 10 micros.
Yeah, and I'll add to that real quick. The reason you leave the TradingView alert at 1 is because if you want to trade one contract on one account, 3 on another one, 5 on another one, if you're putting your sizing in your alert, then you're going to need 3 different alerts with different sizes in it, versus you just keep 1, and then you can, as David's showing, multiply the amount for each account individually based off that one same alert for trading from TradingView.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. If you want to go more than 10 on here, though, you do have to just type it in yourself. So if the little arrow will only go up to 10, so you have to delete that out and put 100 if you want to trade 100 minis or micros. I had micros, so 10 minis. But yeah, that's kind of 30,000 foot overview really quick, guys. If you need to go back and just rewind and slow it down to go over that stuff, I was just trying to get it in here so that way you could do that. But yeah, for the most part, do you guys have anything else you're thinking of for the week? I'm excited for the week, man. I'm excited to see how this. I have some stuff that's really gonna hopefully do well in this volatility.
Yeah, it's definitely, size down, of course. Could be, it's going to be one of those weeks where trades don't last that long.
Yeah, I'm always excited for Sunday night when the markets open back up, because I got my start in trading crypto, which of course never stops. So I always hate when the weekends come and there's no trading, although of course it makes you get away from the chart and spend time with the family and stuff. So I appreciate the downtime for that. But after Friday night close, I'm like, is it Sunday yet? Is it Sunday yet? Because I'm ready for it to open and start back. But yeah, this week could be, obviously we have the war stuff still going on, depending on how talks go or any new attacks or anything like that. There could be some wild price action. And I think, David, when we were talking before the stream, you were saying there's even some normal news this week sometime, weren't you?
Yeah. What was it? I think we have PPI on Tuesday. Is that right, Smooth?
We do have PPI this week. Let me pull up my econ calendar here.
I'm pulling up bands to see, but since I have it on regular trading hours, it hasn't updated for the week. But yeah, we have PPI at 12:30 Central. Yeah, 12:30 Central on Tuesday, and then a couple of other smaller things. Basically, Wednesday and Thursday at 12:30, there's orange folder news. So nothing major other than that. But yeah, PPI at, I guess it would be 12:30 Central, 1:30 Eastern on Tuesday.
I've never heard of PPI. PPI is always at 7:30. Yeah, PPI is at 7:30 Central Time.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. I forgot
it is. I got it here 8:30.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I was like, wait, did I miss something? Did they like
there we go.
Release for PPI?
No, I forgot that on the news thing on bands that you have to set your time zone, your UTC offset. It doesn't just take whatever your chart set to. So I just adjusted it. And yeah, 7:30 on Tuesday is PPI, and then there's 7:30 news on Wednesday and Thursday, Empire State Manufacturing Index and Philly Fed Manufacturing. I have no clue if that normally moves the market or not, but there is 7:30 news on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So
all right. Well, sweet guys, that's about the time that we have tonight. Was there anything else you guys have to add? I know I was gonna ask Lee if there was any things you'd like to mention about the new release. I don't know if you saw the beginning of the stream. We went over, we kind of walked down the announcement and just kind of walked through everything a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't. I think the two biggest things obviously is having that Rhythmic add-on and then this Echo feature. But there's a video about how to use that there in the announcement, and I'm sure you guys are going to have a little fun with that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Hopefully we get some good trades tonight. And I will chat with you guys all soon.
I'm actually in a gold short right now.
Oh, nice. With Vector?
Vector, yeah.
Yeah. Sweet.
So I've just on my evals, I don't have any funders running. I'll wait till 7 p.m. and I'll switch those on.
Okay.
All right, guys.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you later.